Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain AccuWeather, coming to you by way of the Captain AccuWeather Command Center. Happy that you made it to the middle of the week. It is Wednesday, getting closer to the weekend. We've had obviously a couple of days that have been very warm. We hit 84 for the second day in a row, which actually earmarks the warmest day of the year so far. 84, you got to go back to October last year, like 6 months long. How long it's been since we've been that warm. But even at 6:40 in the morning, on the 17th of April, what's going on? It's 70 right now in Knoxville. It's 63 in Maryville, 63 in Sevierville, and we have 66 degrees in Crossville. These are our starting temperatures. You might think we're going to be off the chart today, but something could cool us, and that cooling trend might be because we have some showers and storms in the forecast. That's, in fact, what I suspect may only be a 40% chance, but where they do develop, they might be a little more vigorous, they might be gusty, and they might be strong to isolated severe. So we're going to watch that very closely. Let me jump to the ultimate Doppler radar. Some of you may have had some showers overnight, but where things stand right now is got some light rain around Cookeville, Sparta, well to the west. The ultimate Doppler radar not showing anything in Knoxville, Maryville at this time, but that's going to change, I think, as we head through the rest of the morning. You can see it's quiet around Morristown and Newport. Maybe a little bit of ground clutter there in parts of Sevier County. But most of the showers, if we slide to the west, really are firing up around Nashville. A couple of thunderstorms near Lawrenceburg and also southwest of Columbia, Tennessee at this particular time. And if we put this in motion, you'll see it's headed toward us. By the way, Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, East Tennessee's #1 tire service and auto repair since 1953. If you need a whole new set of tires, maybe you need your tires rotated, maybe you simply need an oil change. Check them out. Tell them Captain Accurate sent you. They're in Knoxville, specifically Farragut on Kingston Pike. They're in Maryville. They're also located in Lenoir City. You say, oh, I didn't know they had a Lenoir City location. They sure do. They got one in McMinn County in Athens, and they have one in Hardin Valley. So check them out. You can simply go to madlocktireservice.com. It's a great, convenient way to set up your appointment and to minimize your wait time. But Matlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, very happy to have them as a sponsor. By the way, you can see rain coming across Middle Tennessee at this hour. This is over the last 60 minutes, and it's beginning to fire up with more thunder near Lawrenceburg. So, again, it won't be widespread, but when it gets here, some of it may come in with some bravado and could create a little bit of havoc because we will find winds today gusting, I think, 30 to 40 miles per hour. They're just not that strong yet this morning. I want to say good morning to you. It is Wednesday. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, let me know. I'd love to say good morning to you. Fred says good morning, and he's got a mild 65 degrees in Maryville. I would say that is, in fact, pretty mild. 70 at the airport. It's amazing how warm things are, and certainly how changeable today will be simply because we're throwing in that thunderstorm opportunity at a 40% chance today. Let me show you the bigger picture. They've got more thunderstorms across the Great Lakes, and dare I say, snow and blue up toward Canada, up toward Billings, Montana, and into parts of northern Wyoming, it appears. They're under winter weather advisories. They're in purple. So some very cold air still wrapping around this system that's affecting the Ohio Valley, the Tennessee Valley, and so it goes. So we'll keep an eye on this for today. Just want to let you know there is no risk from the eyes of our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. No risk for a tornado. It's virtually zero. But it's not a zero chance if you're looking at severe winds. So winds up to 60 miles an hour. That would mean a severe thunderstorm, and there's about a 5% chance everybody in East Tennessee could get a strong, severe storm. Isolated as it may be, it's 5%, and the chance for some hail is also present. So if you have a brand new used car, a brand new car, and you don't want any hail popping up, there's the probability about 5% that you could get hail the size of a George Washington quarter or greater within 25 miles of a point. So hail, also a possibility today. Take a look at the clouds and radar put together, and most of the rain we've already highlighted is moving across Middle Tennessee. Going to keep an eye on that for sure, but that's where the most of the moisture is at this particular time. If you're on YouTube, let me know. I'd love to say hi to you over here. I have no comments yet on YouTube. I will magnify your voice if you're there. That's your platform. Back on Facebook, I mentioned Fred's here. Maybe a new the comment. Let me know. I'd love to say hi to you because it is now 6:44, and we've got a dry start, at least in Knoxville, but that will change as the morning wears on. Visibility, not an issue at this time. 10 miles visibility, that's the max, and that's pretty much where we see it. Wind speeds aren't even all that bad or even noticeable. It's calm in Morristown, but we have a 9-mile-an-hour wind at the airport and 10 around Maryville. So keep in mind, these winds will increase generally 10 to 20, I'd say late morning. By 10 o'clock in the morning, certainly by midday, you're going to feel those winds. And you go, man, where did that wind come from? It came from the southwest. That's where it's coming in advance of this cold front that's marching this way. 70 degrees currently in Knoxville. Revisiting the temperatures, current temperatures again, 72 in Jacksboro. We have 63 right now in Hamlin County and Morristown. And temperatures off to the state, off to the west, are in the mid-70s. I got 73 in Nashville, 68 in Chattanooga, and they're starting off in Memphis at 70 degrees, as is Paducah. But all those red arrows suggesting the warm air transporting up from the south and west. Tracking these clouds, it's not going to be a bright start to the day. I would anticipate it as mostly cloudy with some hazy sun thrown in for good measure. But sun is up precisely when I'm finished. Look at that, 7 o'clock. It's kind of easy to remember. 7 o'clock is when the sun comes up this morning. We'll be going to bed precisely at 8:12 if you're in the Knoxville area. Good morning to you. I want to say hi. Carrie says good morning. She's got her fantabulous sunshine emoji. I can only hope today, right? We'll have a better chance of that tomorrow, at least in an extended period. She says, have a fantabulous day, everyone. She's got a cup of coffee in her heart. Elizabeth says, hello, are we expecting tornadoes? Just mention that. No, that's a goose egg. That's a 0. No chance today from our friends at the Storm Prediction Center, but there could be some strong, isolated severe storms, Elizabeth, so keep an eye on that, and we'll talk about where in a moment. Fred says, good morning, David. He's got the 65 I mentioned in Maryville. So very happy to have you here. If you're live, if you're watching us live, I can tell you this, the bus stop forecast may start dry as maybe you drop kids off, or the school bus drops them off, but when you pick them up, there may be some more active showers and storms during that 2, 3, 4 o'clock time frame, especially that 2 to 3:30 time. That seems to be a sweet time to pick up the kiddos if moms and dads are doing that. 74 by 2 o'clock. I expect mid-70s for high temperatures today. In fact, if we hit 77 in Sevierville, wouldn't surprise me. A little bit warmer to the east, a lot cooler to the west. There's a 10-degree difference. Well, look at Greenville at 77 and Crossville at 67. That's got to be a misprint. No, it's not a misprint because the front's coming in from west to east. So there could be easily a 10-degree spread from west to east, a cooling effect, as it were. But temperatures should be generally in the mid-70s here in Knoxville, 78 possibility there in Tellico Plains. I've got Bell County, Middlesboro, Kentucky at 79 today. So it will be a variable day. Not as warm as yesterday, but with the gusty winds and showers, we have our own challenges today to navigate as you try to get to and from school or work, to and from work. But more sunshine expected on Thursday, part of my headlines, and showers and storms return on Friday, which of course never is fun. Everybody wants a good Friday or certainly a pleasant Friday, but we will have some active weather on Friday as well. I've mentioned this because there's a lot of landscapers, gardeners, and would-be gardeners, those who might want to get their hands in the soil, so to speak. These are dates that I present to you from the National Weather Service in Morristown. They're averages, just like, sometimes when I was a student, when I studied, I got an A, but when I didn't study, I got something less than a C, but it averages out a C. You know what I mean? So if you could get an average, but it doesn't mean that's how you perform all the time. And this year is anything but average, right? We've already passed the 14th of April, so some might say, hey, all's good with the world. I'm going to get out in the garden and get into the soil. That's fine, but just know that we still have some chilly time frames that typically come into Tennessee. They're affectionately known as the 6 little winters of Tennessee, like redbud winter, dogwood winter. We still have blackberry winter, some would say comes in early mid-May, where you get a little cold spell, depending on what's in bloom. But there's no doubt, looking at this map with all those red arrows, that warmth will prevail, at least for now. What happens once we get into next week? That's a good question. All the cold air that you see in Winnipeg, Minneapolis, starts to work its way in blue down toward Tennessee, gets chilly. In fact, by the time we hit Sunday, we'll be lucky to get out of the 50s for highs with rain. Oh, no, yes, that's where it's going to be. A little chillier. Overnight lows will be in the 40s. So there will be that chill. And look at this north of Montreal. Just astonishing. When you see dark purple like that, that's typically single-digit wind chills and highs in the teens and 20s. I mean, even from Montreal or Quebec, that is cold air for April 22. I'm telling you, if you see that in the data, it's very, very cold across New England by the time we hit the 22nd of April. It'll be astonishing how cold they really are, up toward Maine, up toward LL Bean country. But these are representative of 5,000-foot temperatures, so we'll be chilly. We will have cold spells, and then that will go back and forth. We'll get a back-and-forth pattern. It turns green and yellow again, but then it gets chilly around the 26th. So we've got some opportunities for some colder air relative to averages even down the road. Currently, as of 6:50, and I'll be done in about 10 minutes, it is 70 degrees at the airport. We have a southwest wind at 9 miles an hour and relative humidity at 53%. Let me show you the planner. I want to get to some of your questions or comments. Valley planner today holds us in the mid-70s. So we may be in the 60s now in some spots. Some of you may still cool between now and 8:30. But then with the gusty winds, some showers and storms on the move, temperatures should modify generally in the mid-70s, and a lot cooler for our friends in the plateau for sure. I want to say good morning to you. Carrie mentioned here, she's on here about the fantabulous day. Anyone on Facebook, on YouTube, there she is. Wanda Poe. Good morning, Wanda. Wanda is one of those, she's on YouTube, but she's also a Team Snow fan. She loves the cold weather. She's probably happy about we're getting a cool spell next week. She said, David, hope it doesn't get too bad today. I don't think it'll be too bad. But just make sure you download the free Captain Accurate Weather app so that you can not only get severe thunderstorm warnings, but you can get lightning alerts. That's something alone might be worth its price in gold, but it's free. So you get the free Captain Accurate Weather with Pete Michaels Traffic. It's just a gem of an app to have so that you don't have to necessarily pay as much attention to the radar. It pays attention to the radar for you. It even gives you that storms in your area alert, which comes from our friends at Barron. By the way, precipitation chances 40% today. I have a mostly sunny day tomorrow, so that's a 0% chance for rain. But then it's an 80% chance on Friday and on Sunday. Oh, and maybe some drizzle Saturday, but I think right now we'll keep it dry for Saturday as we'll be we'll be stuck between two different systems. What's interesting to see is the storm energy. Where you see some light yellow would be where some thunderstorms could thrive. Where it gets really bright and yellow, which might be later today, up toward maybe a little bit brighter around Monticello or Jamestown. This might be the best spot for where these thunderstorms may reside. But there's that possibility for some energy. Again, it's all being driven by this cold front that slices across the area, which will enhance the lift in the atmosphere. Our Storm Prediction Center maps are really interesting because there are two distinct yellow areas today, and we are covered in all dark green, which would be isolated severe storms. But a closer inspection would show we've got scattered severe storms in Kansas City today, expected. Detroit, if you have family in Columbus, Ohio, or Cleveland, Ohio, or even Pittsburgh, they may have, in Cincinnati, some scattered severe storms there. If you are in Knoxville, if you're in La Follette, if you're in Nashville, everybody's fair game for some isolated severe storms, and that's what the dark green would indicate. Again, even in the absence of storms, I think wind gusts could easily be gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour today, especially through midday and early afternoon. Now, the severe risk for tomorrow kind of moves toward Dallas, Fort Worth, St. Louis for sure tomorrow, and that's where the activity may be most common. Springfield, Illinois, as well as Jonesboro, Arkansas. Notice that it kind of falls short of the Knox County doorstep tomorrow, but this would be more representative of Thursday night because we're going to be between two systems tomorrow. I can say, how do you get this kind of map? How do you get this kind of map if it's mostly sunny? Because these outlooks cover for the day ahead all the way to about 8 o'clock the next morning. So this technically is a Thursday night outlook. So this would indicate by late Thursday night, there'll be some activity possibly approaching the plateau. I don't expect severe weather on Thursday by any stretch. It won't come in likely until maybe the wee hours of your Friday morning, and that could affect places like Crossville and Wartburg. Another risk for storms will come in on Friday. You'll notice the chance for thunderstorms, general as they may be, are pretty widespread from Dallas, Houston, back toward Texas and into Arkansas, but where there might be some isolated severe storms on Friday would be in dark green. That would be Charlotte, Atlanta, and Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, just to name a few areas. I'm looking at some of your comments. Wanda on YouTube. Back on Facebook, Linda Rice says, good morning, David. Have a wonderful day. Good to see you, Linda. I hope you have a wonderful day as well. And keep in mind, maybe the umbrella, if it's in the car, you'll probably be in good shape. Yolanda Hauser says, good morning, David. Good to have you, Yolanda. She's also one of my premium members. Very happy to have her here. And Carrie's also mentioning hello. So if you're on the call, and you want to give a shout out, maybe you have an observation you'd like to share with me this morning, I would love to see it. It's 6:54 here in the morning. I'll be done in 6 minutes or less. Won't take long. But I want to get to the all-important future cast because there will be differences in opinion, kind of like there's differences of opinion in what people see from different angles. And that's really what this is. This is the macro view. You can see where the cold front is. It's back toward Missouri at 8 o'clock this morning, but the showers are running well ahead of it. And so we might get some populating or let's say growing showers before midday. That's lunchtime. And it might be more pronounced south of Interstate 40. That's the way it seems like it's trending. That's 3:30, there's 5, and then it begins to slow down. So if we drive home today with very few showers, that's okay. Most of it, again, we're only talking 40%, but the 40% that might get some rain today might come in with some showers and storms and some wind. Meanwhile, 5 o'clock tomorrow, it's mostly sunny, and then eventually Thursday night, Friday, that's where the severe storm might pop up in the plateau by the time we hit early Friday morning, and I think it's going to stall. So we're going to have some multiple opportunities for rain on Friday, and then we'll do it again on Sunday. I think this Saturday outlook is a bit too fast for my taste, and of course, they're like dominoes. One system has to clear before we get a better handle on the second one, but I do think we'll find drier weather on Saturday. Let me show you a closer view. This is a representation of 9:30 this morning. Not a whole lot of green here. There's a hit or miss shower, no big deal. Temperatures in the upper 60s to near 70 at 9:30 this morning. But once we hit midday, when you see these areas in red, which would suggest south of Crossville, that might be the main event as far as what could be isolated severe storms. And you can see it affects the Southern Valley. It moves into places like Maryville at 12 noon to 1 o'clock. That's 1 o'clock. And most of it, not all, but most of it's south of Interstate 40. So there might be a favored area based on some trends, and we are really close to the event. It happens in a few hours from now. It puts most of the heavier rains south of Interstate 40. There's still some showers north, but look at this. By the time we hit 1:30, some of those red areas have now migrated towards Seymour, towards Sevierville, and toward maybe Wares Valley. We got some downpours in Newport, where Wanda Poe is, about 2 o'clock today. So if this timing is correct, most of the storms that are red are south of Interstate 40, and it could be winding down after 2 or 3 o'clock as we watch this progress to the east, because there's 3. It's not even affecting La Follette at this point, just some clouds. And so, again, it might be concentrated further south. By 5 o'clock, this is the drive home. You got some sun, you got some clouds. We're in the mid-70s, and we're no worse for the wear. So we've got some rain showers today, 40% chance, but some of that might be concentrated further south. It is 6:57. I'm going to be finishing here in about 3 minutes or less because I got to get to the 7-day. But this is the 7 o'clock tomorrow morning outlook, where we'll find temperatures, I think, in the upper 50s to near 60. Lots of sunshine tomorrow. Should be back in the low 80s. Low 80s on Thursday will be spectacular. I think you're going to like the way Thursday looks. And then by Friday, yeah, you guessed it, if that rain comes in and stalls, we're going to have a rainy day on Friday. So here's our forecast today. 75 degrees, expect a mostly cloudy day, some gusty winds, and a 40% chance for showers and storms. In the absence of storms, winds gust 30 to 40. If we get an isolated severe, it could be clocking in at 50 or 60. So take note, again, your power might be affected if trees are impacted, but winds aren't moving that much now, but they will pick up 10 to 20, I think, before 10 a.m. Today, 73 for a high in Kingston, Rockwood, Harriman, and if you're in Sevierville, 77 degrees, 78 for Dandridge, Newport, as well as Jefferson City, about 75. 75 for Maryville, Alcoa, look for a high of 77 for La Follette, but only 67 for our friends in Crossville and Cumberland County. Today, high of 83 in Nashville, 81 in Jackson, Kentucky, and about 84 for Charlotte, a little cooler in Asheville there at 79 degrees. For tonight, though, I did modify our lows about 59. I do expect a mostly cloudy evening, but then overnight the clouds break because we're going to have a nice sun-filled day tomorrow, and I do think the temperatures will rise somewhat after midnight tonight. So if we get down to 59 at like 1 or 2 a.m., you're going to wake back up and it's in the low 60s again. It's going to be one of those situations that will be driven by the southwest wind. So think of it as a mostly cloudy evening, a partly cloudy overnight. Here's my lowest temperatures for the night. I got 60 in La Follette, 57 for Morristown, White Pine, Talbot, as well as Mohawk, about 56 for Newport, 59 for Crossville, and low temperature in Wartburg and Morgan County at 55 degrees. Jeff Carell says, good morning, Captain. Hope you're doing well. Glad to be tuning in. Glad to have Jeff here as well. And Linda's here saying, have a wonderful day. Very thankful for you. And for those who caught this live, love it. Again, we're also on YouTube. So if you need that platform to be live streaming at the same time, that's what I'm doing to give you some options depending on your favorite way to get information. By the way, here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee for the next 7 days. I mean, you take a number that you like. As I believe Wanda had left me, not Wanda Poe, maybe Gaddis was her last name, but she had mentioned this is East Tennessee weather for you. And how could you argue with that? I mean, Sunday, 59, many of us will be in the mid to upper 50s with cool, rainy weather. Very cool. And then overnight lows drop into the 40s starting Saturday night, Sunday night, and then Monday night we're into the low 40s. So a lot cooler weather. It's going to be coming back and forth, and that's why I was trying to articulate whether it be a dogwood winter or what might come next month with blackberry winter. I joke and often joke with the dandelion winter because that's what's in bloom at the Aldrich house. So we got dandelions, I can prove it. So it's my dandelion winter. Whatever winter you've got, we've got a little chilly weather coming in next week relative to where we've been. But today, about 75 degrees. Just want to say good morning to you. I got Jeff, I got Linda, I got Yolanda, I got Carrie. By the way, if you would like to be the first, I mean the first to see every forecast that I put out, consider joining us on Premium, Captain Accurate Premium. Simply hit the subscribe button at the top of my Facebook page. You also get more Facebook Lives. I do them on weekends for my Premium members. You say, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, you can get more information and help you prepare for the week ahead. It's very easy to subscribe. It's just 16 cents a day or $4.99 a month. I think you'd like it. If you'd like to try it, you can cancel at any time. But you also get a series of extra posts each and every day to keep you in the know if you are a weather fan. And there are a lot of weather fans out there who probably don't know what they're missing, but would love to have you join our group as we continue to grow and thrive. Anyway, well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.